What is up, everybody? Shauna D Man here, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys had yourselves a great weekend. Hope you guys had yourselves a great month of October. I know I did, with everything that went on with the channel during the month of October, playing nothing but horror games and watching over the episodes of Goosebumps. That is on the channel. You guys can definitely go and check that out. But we are going to be starting into something new. Star Trek Resurgence, which is a game I've been wanting to play for quite some time, but I think I had to wait for it to come to PC or whatever, and I just got distracted with other things. But we are finally here. I'm very excited to play this game. Let's get into it. This is a game I definitely have been wanting to play for quite some time. I did play Star Trek Online for a little bit. That's pretty much about it. So I don't really know much about this game. I have seen a little bit of gameplay when it was first being talked about, first being showcased, but other than that, I don't really know much about it. From Dramatic Labs. Okay.
Captain's log, stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission. And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them. Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy. Nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good. Our new first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydek. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
Oh, this is some fun. Here we go. I think this is like one of those games too that your choice. Ooh. Well, that was close.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying. But these little shuttles are the worst.
You don't like flying. And yet, you joined Starfleet.
There's a reason I'm not a pilot.
You should try it sometime.
The crew is impacted. Okay. Yeah, so it's like one of those games where your choices impact outcomes. I do like those kind of games.
Sorry, I'm a little anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this. But if she's half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy, she'll be the XO this ship needs.
I was in a Excelsior class. I don't remember a lot of these ships. I know. I think that's a Nova class at the bottom. I could be wrong. I'm not. It's hard to remember all the ships. Obviously, I know the Enterprise and some of the other ones like Voyager and ships like that. But hold on. Let me do something. I'm actually going to put this on high because there was a weird little lag with some of the stuff. I don't know if that's just part of the game. I don't think it's part of the game, but I just want to see if there's a difference. All right, checking at security. Ooh, looking good.
A starbase on the very edge of Federation space. Long way from home now.
Oh, that looks good. Okay. Let's get into some shenanigans. I'm already ready for it.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the Academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the Academy.
Really? That's quite impressive.
Thank you.
Hey, I kind of gave him a little bit of
But
encouragement.
you know, I set my mind to it and it paid off.
Come on, give me one quick second. Let's see. Okay.
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds.
All right.
Welcome, Commander Rydek.
Wait, you're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalin test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
Oh,
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before. I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground.
The pleasure is mine, Ensign.
Paul Calloway.
Paul Calloway.
Good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
All right, Ensign. We'll check in
See you
check
on
in
the
with you
Resurgence.
later. All right, find Commander Ermot. I forgot when this game came out. 2022, maybe?
Good day, Commander.
Greetings. Hey, how are you? I could be wrong about that. Yeah, this has just been a game I definitely just been waiting to get my hands on for quite some time. And I've, not recently, but I've well, yeah, I guess I could say recently gotten more into Star Trek and I guess I could say
Commander Ermot is a Bolian, so I'm looking for someone with blue skin.
oh, okay. Bolian. What happens if I just talk to him?
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm just... Well, I'm not sure where my departure dock is. The Resolute's gonna leave without me.
Oh, you're on the Resolute.
Look here. The Resolute is leaving from this dock.
Ah, you're right. Nerves must be getting to me.
Ah, you'll do fine.
Thanks so much, Commander.
All right, so Bolian. So what's this?
Starbase 128 has 4 docks.
Okay. All right, we can talk to you.
Excuse me, have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir. Right back there, near the replicator.
Ah,
Thank
there
you.
he is. Thank you.
Happy to help, Commander.
I'll replicate myself a meal once I'm on board. Excuse me.
I think my favorite series. I've watched majority of the series of Star Trek. I think the only ones I haven't really watched is Deep Space Nine, the original series, and I started Voyager. I haven't finished Voyager, so that's probably something I need to do on my to-do list. Hey.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermot, Operations Officer on the Resolute. Commander? I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now. I know conditions are less than ideal at the moment.
It was perfectly fine. No trouble at all.
I'm glad to hear it.
All right, take me to the
We're
bridge.
grateful you were able to come fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to us. Coming from a premier starship and all. To our little research vessel.
What exactly have you heard about me?
First in your class at the Academy.
Okay.
Received the Starfleet Award of Valor during the Dominion War. Most recently, Tactical Officer and Chief of Security on the USS Endeavor.
You've done your homework.
Like I said, we're very lucky.
It's a good looking ship.
The USS Resolute. She may not look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
Equipment malfunction. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame.
Okay.
It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew. At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other.
I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
First officer and
It
22
does
people.
weigh heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
Did you lose anyone close to you?
Too many. And to that I'll just say, you have big shoes to fill.
I'm sure I can handle it.
Listen, I realize you've known Captain Solano for quite some time, and I'm sure you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within.
Nah.
So you might want to tread lightly at first. Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
Trust is earned, and it sounds like I have my work.
No,
cut out
because
for me.
like if you
But I
hire
plan on
from
winning them
within, you probably
don't doubt
you know they may be more like yes
I just
man.
figured it
Having
was
somebody
better
come in
to
from the
know
outside
over. Of course.
is probably a little bit better in this
Starfleet has
situation.
assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region. I'll let the captain brief you on board. I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
Okay. Oh, just hold it. Okay. Ew. What is that?
Stuck. I got just the thing.
Plasma torch. That should be... Oh, good. It tells me. Nice. All right. Okay, so I gotta like keep it in the circle. Okay, that's not too difficult. All right, there we go. Now let's try to get it. Okay, let's just pull it. Okay. All right, let's add in this new one.
And that...
Check. And check.
that.
Also, while I'm playing this, we got Star Trek Lower Decks also going on right now, which I love. Speaking of the Lower Decks, I love Star Trek Lower Decks. Love that series.
I thought the thing was totally fried. Nice work, Carter.
Nothing to it, Nilly.
Nilly. Okay.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering. Like, now.
Down in engineering. Okay. Yeah. Oh, so we can talk to people.
Everything okay?
I dropped a non-ferrous connector between the coils. Gonna have to remove a few of them to find it, and then...
Whew, then another hour of recalibrating. Ouch. I'll leave you to it.
Ew, that does not sound pleasant. This kind of makes me want to get back into Star Trek Online.
Come on!
I'm coming, I just want to see stuff. Okay, alright, we saw stuff. Ooh!
Carter Diaz!
Oh, I bet that is heavy.
Oh, these are heavier than they look. Makes more sense than zero G. You're welcome.
Hurry up!
Can I do another one? Here, let's help him
I can see
out.
myself.
Oh, I guess.
And you know what? Not half bad.
Okay, alright, we could go. Oh, you're right there. Ah!
Good to see her fully operational again. And if she breaks, we'll just fix her.
Hey guys. Alright, in we go.
Engineering.
I heard the new XO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovak called us down for, it's something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds.
You and me working together, we can tackle anything he throws at us.
Your optimism
Yep.
is positively contagious.
Great teamwork makes the dream work. That is for sure.
Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
We were just looking for you, Commander.
Petty Officers Ed Solar, Diaz. I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you.
Okay, settle down.
A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Ed Solar on repeated occasions.
Commander Chovak, isn't it true that if we were almost late, it categorically means that we were not late?
That is correct,
Oh.
Mr. Diaz.
I mean, if anything, Ed Solar and I are following the schedule to the letter.
Yes, perhaps I should adjust the schedule accordingly.
Oh. No, don't do that.
So, I don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in before we go off duty?
So if it's like red, was that like negative?
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood. But many systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
Commander, if this energy storm is causing problems here at Space Dock, what does that say about what we're gonna find when we head out there for real? Shouldn't we let this storm pass?
Long-range sensors show that conditions will indeed be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. Thusly, we are taking all necessary precautions.
Okay.
You have your orders. Do not delay.
Yes, Commander
that.
Chovak.
Gotcha, boss.
All hands on deck.
What's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovak said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule. Consequences be damned.
It all comes down to us, Nilly. We're the ones who will get it ready.
I know what we can do. But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Oh, whoa.
Hey, man.
Excuse me.
Oh, Callaway.
A lot of new faces coming on board. It's gotta be tough coming as a replacement. That's for sure.
They seem all right. Something that happened 6 months ago while they were off on another ship? Well, that's nothing to hold against them.
Yeah, you're right. I guess getting a little new blood on board doesn't hurt. Hold on. Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
Okay, let's see something. Yeah, it's all up. I don't know. It just sounds like, just, I don't know. Just sounds a little low, maybe? Maybe I'm crazy. Yes. Let's do that. Alright.
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute.
Oh, I see what okay, hold on. I see what it is. I think I know what I did. Give me a second. Let's do... Let's try that. Crap.
So, I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
I'm gonna take the high road here, pretend you didn't say that, and welcome you aboard.
I'll have to maybe look at that in a second video.
He's a better diplomat than I am.
He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. As soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
It's probably not gonna be really quick. Thank you, sir.
Here, let me help you.
Thanks.
So what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa.
Easy, lady.
Good to go. See you on the other side.
Okay.
Activating magnetic souls.
Got it. Oh, that looks nice. Would not do this. Oh, well, I guess if you're in engineering on a Starfleet vessel, this is probably something you would have to do, but I don't think I would like really enjoy it.
That view never gets old.
Let's go.
Alright, let's make our way to the bridge, I presume. There's like an episode in I think season 1 or 2 of Strange New Worlds where you had like Una and La'an walking on the deck outside the Enterprise. They were like in a pocket between the shield and in the hull. All hands.
Captain Solano should be here momentarily.
Thank you.
You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleods. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen. And we have plenty of duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
That's good.
Thank you.
Feel free to make yourself at home. And help yourself to whatever you like from the replicator.
Man, imagine, like, what if we had this capability? Like, not necessarily like a full Starfleet thing, but have the ability to, like, just venture off into space, exploring the unknown. Man, it'd be crazy.
He's still got a thing for trains. The warp engines of their day, apparently.
Okay, what else we got? Let's be nosy. Oh.
Just a sip of something. Ractigino.
Ooh, that's a nice mug.
That sure has a kick.
I want that.
Jara Rydek. Last time I saw you, it was graduation from the Academy. You'd already secured one of the most prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrid Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. My only regret is that we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome.
Ah, that's okay.
The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare.
That would be totally unnecessary. I don't need any pomp and circumstance.
You've been here all of 5 minutes, and already you're trying to make us more efficient. I like it.
Part of my job, right? First officer.
I'm sure you've heard. We've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
I assume you mean the accident.
That's right. The tragic accident, really. We were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough. A quantum leap forward in warp core technology. 10,000 teradynes per second. The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed. What would have been the crowning achievement of my career. Right there. Within our grasp.
Because isn't that at this point of the Star Trek timeline? Because this is after the Dominion War, so this would be like after DS9, right? They had the capability of going like warp 10, right?
We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility. It was my decision to make, and I have to live with the consequences.
We all know the risks when we sign up. There are no guarantees. As much as we tell ourselves otherwise.
True. But as captain, my job is to mitigate and manage the risks as much as possible. And that's where I failed. In my defense, I will say, I might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me. There was a lot of pushback from my former XO. And I think that cost me his confidence. I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission.
Got it.
Anything short of that just won't work. And that's when things start to go sideways.
Whether I agree or disagree, I can promise that I'll be honest to a fault.
Good. That's exactly what I'm looking for. But at the end of the day, it has to be my call. Look, I'll be blunt. We can't afford another mistake. Or at least, I can't. I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here. We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority.
Okay.
Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. 2 previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified. this ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggest it's several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess where it leads.
Hatari.
Exactly. Very nearly in the precise location where we're headed. Where I imagine the interference will be exponentially greater.
Who is the senior diplomat we're escorting?
That I don't know. Starfleet hasn't said. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst. There's just one more thing I want to clarify up front. The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure. When that might happen is entirely up to you. But it goes without saying, you have my full support.
Thank you. But I feel like I still have so much to learn.
You'll have plenty of opportunity. And if you're willing to put in the work, I'll do everything in my power to help you along the way.
Yeah, I can do that.
Come. Let me introduce you to
like it isn't in the Kelvin timeline Star Trek. Pike tells Kirk that like he could be an officer in 4 years and have his own ship in 8 or something like that. So is it like 4 plus 4, or is it like 4 years to be an officer and then an additional 8 years to get your own ship? Oh, let's go. Where'd he go? Oh, he's right here. Oh, it's the bridge. A bad-looking bridge.
Everyone, if I could have your attention for a moment. I'd like to introduce Commander Jara Rydek, our new first officer. Some quick introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best in the business.
Hello.
One of? Well, what he lacks in humility, he more than makes up for in ability.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Likewise.
Next, we have Commander Westbrook, our Chief Science Officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
Pleasure.
Okay.
Commander Rydek, it is such an honor to meet you.
Okay, settle down.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some time, and I look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
If anything, the honor is mine.
Well, I have to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad, because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves, and you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it. I really admire that. So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done, but you definitely
Tell me a little bit more
set a
about
standard
yourself.
to strive for.
That's very kind of you to say, but enough about me. We have a lot of work to do.
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh,
And
I hope that didn't come off like...
Commander Ermont. Please, do everything you can to make Commander Rydek feel at home here. I'll be on the starbase. I have an urgent meeting with the starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway. If they drag their feet any longer, we won't make our rendezvous. The bridge is yours.
Okay. Ah, that's a nice view. Okay, we can just go ahead and sit there. What's that?
Tactical holodias. Just like they've got on the Excelsior.
That's pretty cool. Alright, let's go.
Commander, Chief Engineer Chovak needs to lower the structural integrity field. He's sent a crew out to recalibrate the emitters in response to the danger posed by the storm. We just need your go-ahead.
Permission granted.
Lowering structural integrity field. Now.
Entering maintenance mode. Condition blue.
Okay.
The storm is getting worse.
Looks like they turned off the SIF.
Great. Let's get to that emitter.
All right, let's roll. Let's see, what is it, Nyla or Nilla? Probably Nyla. How hard is it to walk out there, I wonder?
Every time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her. It adds character.
Yeah.
When I joined Starfleet, all I wanted was a ride out of town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
No. Sometimes it feels like we're just part of the machinery. Don't you want more than that? I mean, Starfleet is noble and all, but it's still a machine. A massive, massive machine.
I am more than that. And so are you.
I mean, I can understand that, what she's
You wanted
saying.
to get away. I enlisted because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy. I wanted to go somewhere. See new worlds. Look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be. Diaz to Commander Chovak. We are at the SIF emitter.
Acknowledged. You may proceed with the recalibration.
Copy that. Okay, what do we need? Calibration tool.
Beginning recalibration.
Okay, so what am I doing here? Tune nose to center. Second, okay, so. Oh, I see.
Careful. Too much action and harmonics will deflect the alignment.
Looks good. That wasn't so hard.
Commander Westbrook, right? Chief Science Officer.
You remembered my name and my rank.
Oh, don't be a dick.
Yes, I am the Chief Science Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge. I know this ship inside and out. Better than just about anyone.
What a very impressive list of credentials.
This is a research and discovery ship, first and foremost. Now with a former tactical officer as its new first officer. I'm curious, though. A Kobliad, or half in your case, is an odd choice for first officer, given your vulnerable condition.
Buddy?
But if, as an example, we found ourselves in a hostile situation, and you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed an infusion, what would happen then?
But you mind your business.
Captain Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario, but not outside the realm of possibility.
That's very kind of you to be concerned about my well-being. But you don't need to trouble yourself on my account. I'll be fine.
Well, I wouldn't say I was concerned, just curious. Listen, can I be blunt, Commander?
Sure.
I see no reason to stop now.
Commander Sutherland, your predecessor, was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet. His record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal. I mean no disrespect, but the shoes you're stepping into are almost impossible to fill. He was loved by the crew. And he was one of my closest friends.
I don't think I could ever replace
I mean, that's not what I'm here to do, buddy.
And it would be a mistake to even try.
Seeing as Captain Solano is on the starbase.
Okay, that's why. What does that mean? Is it like neutral? So it's like red. I mean, like it was a bad set of dialogue I
At the
did.
moment, I can't tell you if the Resolute will shrug it off or if we're putting ourselves at risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns, its nature, we can come up with a scientific countermeasure. Just a moment.
We've got a massive energy wave inbound. On screen.
Oh, wow. That's not good.
Tracing its trajectory.
Starbase docking clamps are holding.
The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves. And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wideband burst of ionic energy, like a tsunami.
I'm reading power abnormalities.
Red alert.
Aye.
Get to your stations.
Evacuating main gangway and retracting.
Putting sensor visualization on screen.
With the structural integrity field shut down, we can't take a direct hit.
Time to impact. 1 minute.
Shield systems are severely impacted. We have limited protection.
I need every available solution. What are our options?
We can weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
There's a better way.
I'm sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire shield bubble, but it's a directional threat. So we can orient all we have towards the wave. You have to believe me.
We only get one shot at this. We can't afford to get it wrong.
That's right, which is why we need to send power to our shields.
Bedrosian, get those shields up.
Rerouting power to shields. Stand by. I need a heading. We've only got one shot.
Understood. On my command.
Okay, how does?
Heading locked.
Raise shields.
This is it!
All hands, brace for impact.
Oh boy.
What happened?
We have experienced a surge of radiation.
Oh, you don't say.
Oh, you don't say.
Oh,
This
thank you.
radiation supercharged the plasma, forcing it to backflush through the system and creating a dangerous imbalance.
Well, he was a science officer. I wonder if I should have took his advice.
I need you to traverse the hull to the access port to recalibrate the port nacelle plasma regulator.
Okay.
We've reached the first access point.
Understood. Do you see the override for the level 1 failsafe circuits?
Okay.
Affirmative.
Engage the override. It should allow us to stop the EPS flow to the warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
Okay. Okay.
Failsafe override engaged.
Are you sure? I am registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
We need to route the signals so they don't interfere with each other.
Okay, put that there. Alright, there we go.
Diaz to Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily disabled. Moving on to the EPS regulator.
Heads up, Carter.
What is that?
One of the discharges coalesced.
It's coming right toward us. I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
Oh, okay. Careful.
So we gotta climb up the pylon. Not that there's really an up, but you know.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, keep your phaser out. We're probably gonna need that. Oh, I see you. Oh, God. We're fine. We're fine. Shit. Okay. We're fine. We're fine. Okay. What are you doing? You just... Oh, come on.
Are you alright?
Yeah. Suit took most of it.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Just snuck up on me.
That damaged the suit. Energy dampening is down to 60%.
I'll be fine. That. Alright, we're fine. Uh-oh. Alright.
We're at the regulator. Opening the access panel.
I am now halting the EPS flow to the port nacelle. We have little time before it causes an overload in the engine. You must work efficiently.
Okay, okay. Alright.
EPS manifold adjusters reset to neutral.
Alright, so... Oh, okay, I see. Okay. There. Wait. Come back. Okay. Alright, there we go.
Lines to the port warp engine are back in balance. Almost done. Once I cycle the manifold nozzles, Chovok can...
Uh-oh. Oh, that's definitely not, it's not kosher. Oh!
Get down! Gears to bridge. We just lost the docking clamp. We've got a lot of debris coming down. All vibrations, too. We can't finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to release the ship from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
There's a problem. The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Not working.
What are our options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Maybe there's another way.
Starbase is hailing us.
Put him through.
Resolute, the remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now. The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
The docking clamp isn't functioning. We're exploring our options.
The option is to detonate the emergency release.
Commander, hear me out. Reverse the polarity of the hull, which theoretically will repel the docking clamps.
And repel the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
Go ahead. Captain, we have a situation.
Commander, what are you doing? Blow the bolts on the docking clamp.
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order. Chara?
Captain, you brought me here because you trusted me. Can you trust me now?
You better be sure you make the right decision.
The captain made himself quite clear.
They're gonna get hammered with debris out there. Reverse the polarity.
There is protocol.
And there are lives.
Starbase, stand by. We're gonna flip hull polarity to disengage the clamps.
Yes, Commander.
Oh, yeah.
Repair crew, this is Acting Captain Jara Rydek. Be advised, we are going to reverse hull polarity to free us from the remaining docking clamp. Tether yourself and deactivate your boots on my mark.
Understood.
Okay, here we go.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
God, that was
1.
close.
Mark!
Oh, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Oh, God, we're fine.
Grab my hand! I got you.
Thank you.
Plasma imbalance is reaching critical condition. We are moments from primary system failure.
I got it.
All right. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on, come on, come on. Together. There we go. Good job, guys. Oh God, that was close. That was the way those buttons were like.
I got you. Petty Officer Edselar's hurt and unconscious.
Hang on. Let's get you out of here.
So we're back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. You are at risk of triggering a substantial electromagnetic arc if you approach the main hull the way you came.
But Commander, the way we came is the nearest airlock.
There is an auxiliary hatch near you on the far end of the pylon. You must bring Miss Edselar there to access the interior.
All right, copy that. Let's
Roger
go.
that. Going there now.
Ooh, that was a little close.
I'm at the auxiliary hatch.
Glad to see you're up and about. All right, we gotta move. All right, open this. Oh, gotta hold it.
You go first.
What?
Let me save your neck this time. No time to fight me on this. Get in there.
Not on your life.
Get in there.
Let's not let it come down to that.
Come on, come on. Oh.
We made it.
Oh, that was a close one.
They're safe, bringing the SIF fully online.
Do it.
The price of duty.
Nilly.
I'm good. Help me with him.
Let's get this off. Medical. Got one wounded at my location.
It's just a flesh wound.
You don't look so good.
It's a nice scar.
You gotta be more careful. I just got here. I'm not ready to see you two get blown to space dust just yet.
Oh.
Now let's get you down to sickbay.
Great.
You made a good call. Reversing the polarity.
The repair crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Ermot?
Releasing the docking clamps using hull polarity minimized damage to the Resolute. We'll have some last-minute repairs to make, but if we reapportion some of the staff, we can make our departure on time. As of now, however, we are successfully moored to the station.
Good to hear. Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me.
Yes, boss?
You disobeyed my orders.
Yeah.
Well?
Respectfully, Captain, I made the right choice given the information I had.
You disobeyed my orders! And not just in front of the bridge crew, but the Starbase staff as well. That's going to get around. My name's already tarnished around the fleet. But what is it going to do to my credibility on this
Oh,
ship?
come on.
From the top to the bottom. Bridge to lower decks.
Captain, I told you I'd be honest, so here it is. Maybe I shouldn't have disobeyed a direct order, but you were wrong. You weren't on board, and you didn't have all the information. So I made the right decision for the ship. If you're worried about your credibility, put your ego aside and trust your crew. Trust me.
There you go.
You might have won some fans on the bridge with that stunt, but not everyone. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has already bent my ear.
I'm sure he doesn't take it personally. He'll get over it in time.
Mr. Chovak is more complicated than he would want to admit. I guess we all are. And, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure what I would have done in the moment either. You never really know if you weren't in those shoes.
Yeah.
So, let's just boil it down to you did what you had to.
Thank you for understanding, sir. I'm sure no one knows the burden of command as well as you do.
I'm sure you will, someday. Despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart. So if you'll fetch Mr. Ermot, we'll knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and then we'll set out for Hotari.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good. All I ask is a tall ship. Y'all staring at?
All departments reporting full mission readiness. We've got our full complement on board.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
Captain on the bridge.
Sit. Sit, everyone. You all know, I'm not big on speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
All right.
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar.
All right, let's punch it.
Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Aye, Captain.
You know what? You take this one.
Me? Engage.
Love it.
Simple, but effective.
Okay.
Easy.
Thank you. I'm fine. Really,
You don't look so good.
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
Commander, help me get her inside!
Ooh. That probably had to hurt. Oh, thanks, Doc, for hooking me up.
Well, that was quite a scare. A few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on him, but he'll live. Just needs rest. You should worry about yourself. Your duridium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
My name is Dr. Aram Duval, Chief Medical Officer. To be honest, I've never met a Kobliad before. You're...
rare. I know.
I was going to say special. Your people's numbers have dwindled, despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the duridium you need to survive. Yet you joined Starfleet, and managed to thrive. I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
It does make me unique, but it's not a burden at all. I'm honored to be Kobliad, to represent my people.
As you should be. And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment.
Oh, better not.
I just do the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with his methods?
I don't agree with his definition of acceptable risks. Not when the lives of your crew are at stake. My professional opinion is that the accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind. Which is never a good headspace when the lives of your crew are at stake. What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. Breakthrough discovery. The major innovation. Something he can put his name on.
I hear you. But that's my job, isn't it? To make sure that doesn't happen. And we don't lose sight of the bigger picture.
Which is exactly why I'm so glad you're here. We need you now more than ever. And I have to give you credit for what happened on the bridge. It took guts to defy a direct order.
Huh. I guess word travels fast around here.
It's a small ship.
Yep.
And everyone's curious about the new XO. Fortunately, your cell structure is almost completely stabilized. And I'll spare us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of duridium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
Thank you, Doc.
Understood.
Then, my work here is done.
Lieutenant Bedrosian.
I came to see if you were okay. We were all pretty worried on the bridge. No one knew what was happening.
I'm feeling much better. Thank you. It's just part of who I am.
You don't have to explain to me. I understand. I'm just glad you're okay. You trusted me earlier with the shields, and I appreciated that. I want you to know that I have your back.
Oh, I think that's good to hear. Thanks.
Now, Carter, the emissions that gave you that burn are quite unusual, like everything else that goes with this storm. That's the combination of hyronolin and lectrazine to counter the radiation effects. That should help speed your healing.
Hello.
I've come by a couple of times to see you already. Be brief.
It's good to see you awake again. I was starting to get worried. Not that you aren't in good hands with Dr. Duvall.
I hear you've been checking in on me. Thanks for that.
One of the benefits of working a security rotation. Lots of opportunities to walk by sickbay and stop in. Millie was looking in on you too, by the way.
Oh.
But since it's just us right now, I had a chance to think about this while I was away. And I thought it was important that I just come out and tell you, instead of tiptoeing around it.
It's okay, Miranda. You can tell me anything.
I know that.
Then come on. Just spit it out.
I'm trying. Let me talk.
Okay, go ahead.
What I'm trying to say is, we've been really good friends for a long time. But I got back here and I couldn't ignore it anymore. I want to see if there's more between us than just being friends.
You don't have to explain it. I feel the same way. There is something between us.
So, do you want to find out what that something is? If it's there for you, and it's there for me, why not give it a try?
Are you kidding me? I just said yes.
I wanted to be sure I heard that right.
Sorry to interrupt, but the patient needs to rest if he wants to get back to his old self.
Of course. I'll see you again soon.
Oh, sweet. Cast adrift.
Approaching the rendezvous point outside Atari space.
Helm, bring us out of warp.
Dropping to impulse.
Ionic interference surging, Captain.
Shit.
Shield integrity holding.
We can take it.
We are at the correct coordinates to meet the shuttle.
Commander Rydek, find us our diplomat, if you will.
Aye, Captain. Let's reduce the noise. Filter out environmental signals. I can manually tune what's left for Federation signal types.
Okay.
I've located the shuttle.
Opening comms.
On screen.
Shuttle to Resolute. Shuttle to Resolute. Debris field. Lost maneuvering. Losing.
I can't get it any clearer.
We won't get a transporter lock. It's just not happening.
Power up the tractor beam. We'll pull them directly into the docking bay.
Diaz, you good to run the tractor emitter?
Yes, sir.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
Come on, Diaz.
Okay.
First thing, lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the rotation.
Alright, got that. Bring it in.
We're pulling in debris.
I'm on it.
Oh, no, you don't. Alright. to be cleared now. Oh, no, you're a big one.
That's gonna take out the shuttle. Diaz, the bridge. There's a large piece of debris headed for the shuttle. The tractor beam can't handle it.
Can our shields take it?
I believe so.
Commander Ryder, plot an intercept course.
On it.
Okay.
Here we go. Maneuvering thrusters bearing 53 Mark 17. 200 meters on an intercept course.
Maneuvering.
Ooh!
Got it.
Whoa! Someone's working hard on the bridge.
Alright, let's bring this in. Alright. Please, please, hold your applause.
We got the shuttlecraft on board.
Good job. We're on our way down to meet them.
Terra firma, so to speak.
Spock?
Ambassador Spock. The captain will be right down to meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
Okay.
Apologies for the landing, Ambassador. I was operating the tractor beam, sir. I take responsibility.
Our arrival was the smoothest part of our journey. Your artistry with a tractor beam is commendable. We thought we were prepared for our arrival in Hotari space, but it is evident my craft was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
The storm has been pretty intense.
There was an element that was most unusual. Before you came to our aid, our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable. So we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all, even though our diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies. What do you make of that? When all indications say that warp speed is possible.
Well, this storm is one of the strangest phenomena we've ever encountered. It's disrupted other systems. Who knows what it might do to a warp drive?
Yes, it would seem further investigation is called for.
Take readings, run some additional diagnostic checks, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Quite logical. Petty Officer...
Carter Diaz. Sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ambassador Spock.
Excuse me.
I'm honored to have you aboard. I'd like to get right to it. We're already behind.
Okay. Provocation to war.
Ambassador Spock, my senior staff. It's not every day that a captain gets to welcome a Starfleet legend aboard.
You flatter me, Captain Solano. But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I Didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past. You're right, Ambassador. Not the most diplomatic choice of words.
You are a legend, Ambassador. There's not an officer in Starfleet that doesn't know of your career.
I would never assume that to be the case.
We were hoping you could fill us in on the details. We got the basics from Starfleet. 2 formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war.
Indeed, and the tension between them grows fiercer by the hour. Lydia and Hotari. The Lydians are the more advanced species. They made first contact with the Hotari over a century ago. This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, the Hotari and the Illydians have shared a mining operation there. The Illydians provide the technological resources, while the Hotari have served as the labor force. The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace, until recently. The Hotari have suddenly and forcefully seized control of the mining operations and expelled the Illydians from their system. That is the official story, as told by the Hotari when they requested Federation mediation. But the details remain scant. Communications between all parties have been limited by the ionic interference.
Have the Illydians retaliated against the Hotari? Or taken any action against them?
Surprisingly, they have not yet responded in kind. They were open to a Federation presence, but it is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would stand a chance against the Illydian fleet in open war. Left unchecked, this conflict will result in more bloodshed, which is what we are here to prevent.
And the dilithium trade hangs in the balance.
Clearly, the Hotari have been exploited in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them peace is the more profitable.
It kind of reminds me of that.
They both profited from the mines, and for the Hotari, something is better than nothing. Peace is our objective, after all.
We can call it profitable or mutually beneficial, but at the end of the day, the Hotari are still being exploited for their own resources.
True peace is not merely the absence.
It reminds me of that episode of in Next Generation where
this conflict will surely
you had those 2
again.
planets
Neither
where
the Illydians or
one
the
was
Hotari
basically
are members of the Federation, so we can't make them do
they
anything.
told that they were dying.
Is
Oh man,
an
it's been a
additional
while.
complicating factor I should mention. In the past, the Federation
Basically,
has
one planet
relied on the Illydians
got another
as a source
neighboring
of
planet on drugs and relied on them for like stuff in exchange for this and that.
Federation sources its dilithium from a lot of places.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
That means the Hotari have no reason to trust us.
I wouldn't go that far, Commander.
We are completely neutral in this matter, on neither one side nor the other. Any suggestion otherwise would compromise our position. Given the Federation's involvement in the Iridium dilithium trade, Captain Solano and I must make every effort to appear neutral in these negotiations.
What worries me is if this whole thing unravels, and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the Ion Storm has done to our ship, and the Ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Illydian fleet has had problems with it as well. This recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct. The energy anomalies around the Hotari systems have been noted in the past. But they have never been observed on the orders of magnitude we have seen in recent weeks.
That may answer why the Hotari were able to strike back after so long. They finally had an opportunity, and they took it.
That would also explain the Illydians' restraint.
And reason to learn as much about the energy anomaly as we can while we are here. We do not want to be caught at a disadvantage of our own. So I trust we understand our circumstances.
We're operating on a strict timetable here, and we're going to be leaving for the negotiations shortly. Commander Westbrook, I want you to leverage our systems to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
Aye, Captain.
Thank you all.
Dismissed.
I want to speak to both of you privately.
Okay.
Ambassador Spock, I'd like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
Commander, as you are aware, there are limits to what Captain Solano and I can do in our official capacity as representatives of the Federation. But someone in an unofficial capacity, your first officer, for example, would not be bound by those restrictions. Commander Rydek could ingratiate herself to certain parties behind the scenes, where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
She certainly goes her own way. Maybe that helps in this case.
It would be unconventional, but I'm not opposed to it.
I'm perfectly happy to work outside the lines.
And by extension, you will be doing your duty, Commander.
Just not too far
I could have
outside.
gone either way. What's any of
Well, I
those?
hope Commander Rydek will have more luck finding out what really happened than we will through official diplomatic channels.
The fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and the prospect for peace may very well depend on it.